head coach Ben Olsen here. Ben, another point on the road, clean sheet. This is your assessment of that performance.
I thought it was a great performance. Similar to some of the grit and resiliency that we showed in Columbus, but with more soccer. And I thought at times we didn't just come in here and defend. I thought we had really good stretches with the ball and created some opportunities to maybe even steal the game tonight. But it was certainly a very difficult match, as it is every time you come to this building. It's a hard place to get a point. It's a hard place to get 3 points. And the group just looked after each other all night long. Every player showed up and gave everything for the next guy, and that's a start. You can live with that, and if you do that enough times, this thing will start to turn in the right direction. There were a bunch of injuries throughout the game, and we're already very, very thin, and now you have Ethan go out, and your second goalkeeper go out, and now you're relying on your third goalkeeper. So it was just next man up, and I'm proud of all the guys that came in as well and helped the game out.
All right, we'll start with Dustin. Go ahead, Dustin.
Hey, Ben. I'm sorry.
It's fine.
Hey, just talking about Jimmy in the first half, made a couple of big saves, like coming up with some big plays in the second half for you guys. What is that mentality? I know with Tim and the goalkeeping coaches, for those guys to just step up when they're called.
Yeah, look, Andrew down, Jimmy down. Now you're in the third, and it's a credit to those players. Look, Jimmy's been around. Jimmy's been in this league, and he's a gamer, and he understands how to step up and do the job. So that's not surprising. And I thought he's had, actually, since he's been in, 2.5 good games. It's a shame that he's going to probably be out for a little bit, and I guess we're going to have to think about the solve there in this moment. And then Blake comes in again. It's just next man up, and these guys are all here for a reason. That we believe in them, and we understand that they can do a job. And when it's your turn to be called on, the expectations are you come in and understand the game plan, understand the moment, and do a job. But that's hard for young guys. And even you look at Femi. I mean, I thought Femi had an incredible game today. And that's his, fifth game as a pro. And so these are, it's a good way to learn is to just get out in the fire.
And you talked about Femi a little bit, but Franco having to move into center back. What did you make of his performance?
Well, I thought he was great. I thought early he was a little scary because he was still in hunting outside back mode, and I thought he was releasing too much into the center of the field and not necessarily protecting the space behind. But he's got good instincts, and he just started to adapt. And he hasn't had a lot of time in there. And Eric was, still coming along fitness-wise, so we didn't think he was going to have the minutes under his belt at 19 minutes into the game to see out the game and what those needs were. So there'll be a little bit more urgency now to get Eric into this. Because Ethan will be out, but it's nice to know that we can use Franco in there, and Franco tells me weekly that that's his position. So he at least showed me today that it's something I have to think about.
Thanks, Ben.
All right, Rudy, go ahead.
Hey, Coach. You talked about wanting to see more control in the midfield. How do you think your midfield handles Seattle's pressure, and where do you see some room for improvement?
Our midfield handling their pressure. I didn't think that was a problem tonight. I thought Junior and Artur did a very good job. That's Junior's first minutes with us, and I thought he did very well, controlling it, winning tackles. I thought he was physical. And I thought the relationship between the two was pretty good for their first time out.
And obviously the team had some good moments in possession, but struggled to create any clear-cut chances. But what do you think is missing in the final third tonight? Obviously, a ton of injuries changes it.
Yeah. You ever coach a team away in Seattle? it's not easy. It's not easy to come away with a point or three, and I thought we limited them to very few good chances, and I think that's a really impressive thing. So the offense is, we can be a little bit better, but this is the MLS on the road. You don't always get a bunch of good looks, and we're also. It's a good question. Next question.
All right, this is my final one.
Oh, you got another one. Go ahead. This one's probably as good as the last one. Go ahead.
I hope so. With these new setbacks, how do you plan to keep the squad mentally, physically prepared?
Next man up. Next man up. We'll just keep going. We got other guys. We'll just keep putting them in. All right.
Thanks, Coach.
You're welcome.
All right, we'll go to Christian. Christian, go ahead.
Thank you. Good evening, Coach.
Evening.
My question is about Junior Urso, his first game in the Houston. Why what you talk of Junior Urso, but do you see him as a leader of Houston?
Yes, I do see him as a leader for Houston. He's one of the reasons we got him and Nico Ladero, two experienced guys in this league, was to bring experience and bring leadership. And both of them have been incredible in the locker room. They both are they're selfless human beings, and they want what's best for the team and understand their roles. So, and both of them have the respect of our group, our staff, and he's been a joy to work with.
Jorge, go ahead.
Hey, Coach.
Jorge?
Coach, like you said, it's not easy to go to Seattle. I mean, you're not used to it. You're recently getting used to it with a Western Conference team. But you continue that Road Warriors mentality. What does that mean to you and the team with, not the same team as the last 2 years?
Well, I think, the expectations. Look, I'll say this: it's a big point for this group. And again, the early part of this season, as I've talked about, and I think I've been pretty candid. These aren't excuses. We're a little bit of a work in progress, and we've had some injuries, and we're going to bring in some players to compete and try to bolster this roster. But in the meantime, it's about this group and how we figure out how to get points and build character, build our culture, and kind of identify what the sweet spot is for this group in the moment to get points or a point in this league. And that's why I'm thrilled with this performance. Now, we have to take some of this kind of, I think, pragmatism and some of this grit and defensive moxie into our home form and make sure we stay in the game and start games in the right way with the right tension. And I think that will help some of the home performances. And again, we're the way we looked after each other here and the way we looked after each other in Columbus, where every play, was of the highest alert on the defensive end. That has to be what we look like at home, and I think sometimes we're a little bit too comfortable.
Coach, you knocked a lot of things out of the park. The next man up, the grit. I know we live in the present. You don't have the players that you've had. You don't have the players that you've had in the previous 2 years, but everybody has been stepping up. What kind of player? I know we talked about it the other day. What kind of player do you want to sign before the transfer window closes?
Well, I don't necessarily want to get in. I mean, I appreciate your question, there's areas of our group right now that we want to bring some competition in, and obviously with Meek leaving, there's some allocation for players in the back. There's allocation with Coco and some of the lack of production of guys that can help us create and score. So these are all being looked at, and we've been doing this for a long time, and they don't always come at the right times, or They don't always work out. We've identified players. We've tried to get them in. And sometimes it's a little harder, and it's a slower process. So, again, that's there. We're in the now, and until that kind of happens, it's about this group and how we fight and scrap and figure out the balance to get points in this league. And hopefully when we bring players in, these guys have made my life miserable because they're the ones that are doing it, and they're turning this thing around slowly, and they're going to make my life very, very difficult.